Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, from Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977, it's Monday, and you know what that means. It's time for another episode of the Raw Event Center. And now here's the man that will bring you all the wrestling action from Monday Night Raw, Mr. Eric M. Lima.
Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. Episode number 2322 of the show, and this is the Raw Event Center for June 16, 2025. Me and my good friends, Brandon, Jordan, William, and Chayton ended up finishing up live reacting to Monday Night Raw. I figured I have the ability before I hit the sack for the rest of the night and look for a better day tomorrow. Well, we're going to talk about Monday Night Raw. It's going to be, the King of the Ring tournaments do continue, along the return of a certain Empress of Tomorrow. And just a little bit of wrestling news, that at Triple Mania on AAA Mexico, as remember, the WWE acquired AAA, we have brand new AAA Tag Team Champions, and that'll be none other than Los Garza, Angel Umberto, of Legado del Fantasma. They have the titles. They have the AAA Tag Team Champions. So congratulations to Los Garza over on SmackDown. Speaking of SmackDown, the general manager of SmackDown was in charge of Monday Night Raw because of the fact that Adam Pearce is on vacation. So, and hopefully Mr. Pearce is enjoying his vacation, relaxing and everything else. And I think Pat McAfee, second week in a row he has off. Corey Graves is filled in for him on color commentary. So it's like old times for Michael Cole and Corey Graves. I like Corey Graves as an analyst. He has done a wonderful job there too. I like Corey. I respect Corey Graves. Much respect to him, and I hope he's all over the place now. You know, he did AAA Worlds Collide. He's done NXT now, Monday Night Raw. It's going to be totally cool. And to kick off Monday Night Raw, one half of the women's tag team champions, Liv Morgan, and the Intercontinental Champion, Dominic Mysterio, kicked off Monday Night Raw to address the Green Bay crowd, and decided to call out Io Sky because she says she wants her rematch for the championship. You gotta remember, something on my chin, basically. Sorry, folks. I wanted to get that. I'm very fidgety. I think being half autistic is really tough. Anyways, so Io Sky comes out and said, "You want the title? Okay, you can have it." She throws the title to her, drop kicks Liv Morgan, and then as Dominic Mysterio checks on her for good measure, Liv Morgan. So Io Sky throws the title to Liv Morgan, so you can have it, and then Io Sky drop kicks Liv Morgan, and then when Dominic Mysterio was checking on Liv Morgan, Io Sky kicks him in the head. I said, good. Now, you gotta remember this, though. Rey Mysterio is Io Sky's all-time favorite wrestler, so I'm sure Io Sky did that because Dominic Mysterio disrespected Rey Mysterio, his father, and since Dominic's father was Io's hero, Io probably said, you know what, I'm going to give him a good measure, and she probably would say, that one's for your dad, so. But Liv Morgan's night does not end there, so to speak. Meanwhile, it kicks off with the Queen of the Ring first round, the final first round. The winner of this match will face Alexa Bliss coming Friday in the semifinals on SmackDown. As you know, the finals for the King and Queen of the Ring will happen at Night of Champions, and the winners of those the winners of both those tournaments will face their top champion in their respective brands at SummerSlam. So, it is Stephanie Piquet, Raquel Rodriguez, Ivy Nile, and the returning Asuka, who is going back to her original theme song, The Future. Even though I like the other one they did. I thought it was really cool, but this was a heck of a matchup, and everybody wanted to see the interaction between Stephanie Piquet and Asuka. A lot of an international dream matchup, as you know. Stephanie Piquet had the Lucha Libre style. Asuka had the Japanese strong style, or Puresu. Puroresu, and so it was a heck of a matchup between those four ladies. But in the end, Asuka will meet Alexa Bliss, her former tag team championship partner, this coming Friday. So that means, here's an interesting situation: Jade Cargill versus Roxanne Perez next week as well on Raw, while Asuka will face Alexa Bliss. So that means, imagine we see an Asuka Jade Cargill final. We've seen Roxanne Perez face Asuka before at NXT, and Asuka defeated her to keep her winning streak alive at NXT. Well, you see Roxanne Perez versus Alexa Bliss. So many possibilities with it. Or Alexa Bliss versus Jade Cargill. That could be another. So many possibilities there. Meanwhile, actually during the matchup, Rhea Ripley gets involved, attacking Rodriguez during that matchup. And then Captain Kelly interviewed Asuka after the match. He says the fire's not gone. It's still there. And she says she'll be the queen of the ring. And then in the Judgment Day locker room, while Morgan talks to Rodriguez, and then Morgan says, "I'll take care of this." So, and then Dom talks to JD McDonough and Finn Balor, and then Finn says, "You go out there, I'll stay here." And then Finn Balor talks to Roxanne Perez. "I know Liv Morgan does not want to need help, but here's what I want you to do." So there's that. And Gunther addresses the Green Bay crowd, and he's daring Seth to try to cash in on him. But, ladies and gentlemen, this was unexpected. Goldberg came out. This is Goldberg now. Goldberg came out and decided to challenge and Goldberg decided to challenge Gunther to a title match at Saturday night's main event in Atlanta, Georgia, July the 12th. Now, like I said, this is going to be an interesting situation for me, and I talked a little bit about this. The Whale City Festival here in New Bedford will be going on that weekend. It obviously closes at night, so I probably don't have to worry about that. But in the afternoon, there will be the Great American Bash. So by NXT. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to watch the Great American Bash at a later time, maybe. So, because I want to watch the wrestling live wrestling shows, unless the Whale City Festival happens to end up being a wash and all that, and I don't know. But anyways, well, like I said, it's going to be a very interesting situation to say the least. So I will I'll play everything by ear. I'll do that day. But right now, there's 3 weeks. 3 weeks ahead. 3 weeks from this Saturday. But I'm not going to worry about that for the time being. But also, AEW's All In is happening July 12th as well. So it'll be a very interesting situation there as well. So AJ Styles versus JD McDonough. Dominic gets involved in the match during the match, but Styles chases Dom at ringside, and then Styles picks up the victory with the Styles Clash, and then they both fight Styles and Dominic after the match until Finn Balor bails him out. But Styles ends up taking off with Dominic's Intercontinental title. And then Sheamus talks to Akira Tozawa, Maxine Dupree, and Natalya about how Otis is and all that. Otis will be better. And then Akira Tozawa just looks at Sheamus and goes, "Go kick his ass." Preferring to Rusev. So there's that. And in attendance, Green Bay Packers safety Evan Williams, as Bayley comes out to address the Green Bay crowd about being back, and she calls out Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch comes out, talks her trash to Bayley, and then Bayley said, and then Lynch tells Bayley, "Next week, I'll see you in Columbus." And they both, Lynch slaps Bayley slaps back, you know, Lynch then bails out. Meanwhile, Captain Kelly interviewed Jey Uso in the interview before his matchup, the King of the Ring first round, against the three biggest dudes ever, Sheamus, Rusev, and Big Bronson Reed. AJ Styles sees Nick Aldis, hands him back the Intercontinental title. He said, I'll tell you what, Night of Champions, you get an Intercontinental title shot against Dominic Mysterio. And then Bayley, was talking, and Aldis says, I saw what's going on out there. Next week is official. The Women's Intercontinental title match, it'll be you versus Becky Lynch. But then Liv Morgan ends up talking, not Liv Morgan, Lyra Valkyria talks to her, and Lyra Valkyria doesn't seem too pleased that Bayley's getting a title shot before Valkyria is getting her rematch, but you know what? We'll see what happens. Maybe Lyra Valkyria could turn heel and align herself with Becky Lynch. Who knows? Now, Kairi Sane versus Liv Morgan went one-on-one. I know Roxanne Perez was supposed to get some involved during the matchup, but she did not. The match ended quick, because during a takedown by Kairi Sane, Liv Morgan went to go land the way the wrestlers land, but unfortunately, she hurt her shoulder and was unable to continue the matchup, giving Kairi Sane the victory by forfeit. Hopefully, Liv Morgan will be all right. If the injury is worse than ever, worse than thought, it could mean a stripping of the women's tag team titles, and it could mean a potential battle royal or something, or it could take away the fact that take it away from that reunion of Kabuki Warriors and see if they can try to win team titles. We'll see what happens. Well, you got Roxanne Perez. She can fill in for Liv Morgan, defending the belts with Raquel Rodriguez. Then Captain Kelly interviews Sami Zayn about his matchup against Randy Orton next week, but then Karrion Kross confronts him and talks his stuff, and and then Sami Zayn goes, what, I'm fed up with it. I'll tell you one thing I'll do. Right now, my priority is King of the Ring. Once that's over, I'm coming after you for a match. And then I'm going to talk to Adam Pearce and challenge you to a matchup. And Karrion Kross responds, it's about time. So there's that. Then the main event, the King of the Ring first round, Jey Uso versus Rusev versus Sheamus versus Bronson Reed. And during the matchup, Braun Breaker got involved, attacking Jey Uso. Sami Zayn got involved, fighting Braun Breaker during the matchup. And then Penta comes out to attack Braun Breaker during the matchup. Then LA Knight gets involved during the matchup, attacking Bronson Reed. Uso ended up picking up the victory, and he'll have to face Cody Rhodes in the second round in the semifinals at SmackDown this coming Friday. Seth Rollins was very angry and heads to the ring. He's upset. And then Cody Rhodes comes out to make sure and confronts Rollins to make sure nothing else goes wrong. And then Rhodes and Uso shake hands at the end, knowing they'll have to face each other this Friday night on SmackDown. So the King of the Ring and Queens of the Ring became interesting situations, to say the least. We'll see what happens there. It's Randy Orton versus Sami Zayn on one bracket, and you got Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. That could be Cody Rhodes versus Sami Zayn, Randy Orton versus Jey Uso, or Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes, or Sami Zayn versus Jey Uso. This King of the Ring semifinals is full of popular wrestlers right now. It's going to be very interesting to see how all this plays out in the end. So, and meanwhile, the final four set for the Queens in the Ring, as like I said, Jade Cargill and Roxanne Perez, Asuka, Alexa Bliss. Any possibilities, anything's possible, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget that. Well, that's all the time we have on this show. Episode 2322 of Eric Lima Shenanigans in 1977 is complete. And also, here's some big news. Because of everything that's been happening, the transactions in the WWE as of late, I'll be making new thumbnails for the wrestling event centers pretty soon. I got one up for Evolve already, so to speak. But once I get everything together, I'll probably work on more of those tomorrow. I want to thank everybody for tuning into the show. Tomorrow we got High Rollers. We got NXT. It's going to be very interesting to see how everything is played out there. Because technically there's only one title match from NXT on Evolution, the women's title. JC Jane versus whoever wins the Evolution Eliminator tournament matches. It'll start by four fatal four-ways, and then the remaining four. It's almost like an 8-4. And then the winners of those four matches will face off in a fatal four-way. The winner of that will face JC Jane, or whoever the NXT Women's Champion may be, because Blake Monroe may have something to say about that at Evolution. So, be very interesting to see what develops there. So, that's all the time we have on the show. Thank you very much for tuning in. And until the next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home. Good night, everyone.
That is all for today's episode of the show. This is Mr. Announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E and Door for Bob Saget production, and in association with a Raven Bofa 3000 Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. See you later on the next episode of the show. Goodbye for now.